LTN Hour. Let's talk NASCAR with your host, Todd Bailing, co-hosts Brian Schmidt, PJ Noodleman, and producer Dangerous Dan Margetta. Call the show anytime at 414-421-7901. And now, the creator and host of the fastest hour in radio, Todd Bailing.
And welcome to LTN. Thanks for joining us. It's a big day. It's always a big day when NASCAR races at Talladega, but it's a big day in this, I was going to say in the state of Wisconsin. I guess that they've already started racing. But for local Milwaukee area racing, it's the season opener at the Slinger Super Speedway. Dan Margetta and PJ are on the grounds there at Slinger. You didn't spend the night in that camper, did you?
Yeah, I did. Actually, there's a nice gentleman that lives in this area. His name is Mike Christian, and I rented it from him. He brought it out. He had it all set up. So when my friend Heather and I rolled in yesterday, we were able just to pile in with the dogs and settle in for the night. It was great.
Outstanding.
We did put a video up.
No, I stayed overnight, though, in Slinger. I stayed with Myler, longtime listener. And
oh, yeah.
You know, it's always a party there, so it was a fun time. Hung out last night with some of the guys around here and stayed at Myler's house and came here, and I'm in the camper now.
PJ, you said there was a video?
Yeah, we put a video up on the LTN Facebook page if you want to see our little digs and our dogs.
There you go, digs and dogs. And, of course, Brian Schmidt over in Utzberg, who I assume is going to take the ride over to Slinger today.
Yeah, it's only about a 50-minute ride for me. So, yeah, we'll be heading over there as soon as the show is over. I was over there for a while yesterday, talked to a bunch of people, caught up with a lot of people we haven't seen since last fall, so that was pretty fun.
I guess. I'll be watching on Flow today from here in Arizona. So
or Track TV.
Is that Track TV also?
Correct.
Oh.
Yeah, Track TV's got the main broadcast. Flow will have it'll be like simulcast on Flow.
Yeah, Track TV is with Marty Mello, and this is a ASA event.
ASA Midwest Tour event, and Flow is the regular for Slinger Speedway. So between the two of them, it's going to be double broadcast today on double streamed today. How's that? Talladega gets underway at 2:20 today. That's when the green flag is, and Slinger Speedway racing gets underway at 3 o'clock. So if you're going to head to Slinger, just set your DVR and you can watch it when you get home. Talladega will be in the 80s with a 20% chance of precipitation. That was as of yesterday. Now that forecast may have changed today. I'm not sure. But because it rained out when they were supposed to qualify, they went to their fancy metric, and of all people, Tyler Reddick will be on the pole. What a perfect person to have on the pole. The 5-car will, he's been the story again. He won his 5th race of the year last week at Kansas City out of 9. Good God. That settlement that they worked out with in court must have really been a good one. If you're going to win 5 of the first 9, they're not still saying that rumor, are they, Dan? I don't think so.
People are always going to talk the more you win, and especially if it keeps on winning, it's going to get louder and louder. That car was good at the end of the race again.
It was weird, though, because he allegedly ran out of gas. I had no idea that they had an auxiliary tank.
Yeah, what's up? Did we ever talk about reserve tank in NASCAR before?
Well, it's really not a reserve tank. It's in the corner of the fuel cell where they have a secondary pump that you can flip the switch. They've had it it's been around for quite a while because you always hear them flip the switch. You'll hear them say when you're getting close on fuel, so that it just gets that out of that last little corner depending upon, how the centrifugal force of the track is. It'll slosh over there.
Right.
So it's in that corner of the fuel cell.
Funny you should say.
The last reserve tank I remember hearing about was Smokey Unick back in the day when they took the tank off the car and he drove away with it.
Yeah, I remember that story too. Speaking of hitting the switch, Tyler Reddick, he was one of the cars that was in the mix at the end of that thing. And speaking of flipping the switch, he must have hit the push to pass button. Where did he get all that power at the end of that race? I can't believe how he could just. Come on.
That was nuts.
Yeah. And
First of all, didn't he run out of gas? What was that about?
Well, they did pit, right, Brian?
Right. They did on the yellow. I feel bad for Denny Hamlin. He's coming to a win. looks
Yeah.
all great. Just have to come through turns 3 and 4, and it's yours. And suddenly the 51 car goes around, and boom, we're under yellow, green, white checker.
Or
Michael
as-
Michael Jordan coming up to him afterward, that was actually hilarious. I'm betting that those two, Jordan and Hamlin, had a big money bet on this race just based on the dejection on Denny's face and the glee on Jordan's face.
It's a good one. I never thought. By the way, Cody Ware, he has a new nickname. I won't give any credit to anyone that may have given it to us, but Cody Unaware. He spun, but it wasn't his fault, believe it or not. During the week, we saw Tommy Baldwin, who was the crew chief on that 51 car. He was on that the Door Bumper Clear podcast and took the blame himself because they were way overdue for tires, and he tried to make it to the end of the race and almost did it. But unfortunately, that spin is what cost the 11 car race. Oh, well, hey, shit happens once in a while, and it certainly happened to our old boy in that 11 car this week again. But Hamlin will get over it. He'll be fine.
It happens a lot to him, though, doesn't it? I mean, think about
Sure
back to
does.
Phoenix. You know, I mean, he was going to win the championship. Boom, 24 blows a tire, hits the fence. You know, he's going to win.
He's
Yeah,
got
yeah.
the sad trombone follows Denny Hamlin around.
It does. There's a little cloud, and but we're getting to the point now where okay, poor Denny, right? Is that what we're saying yet? I'm not sure. It seems like somebody must be saying that. But today, however, Reddick, because he's in such bad need of starting from a pole, will start from the pole at Talladega. They have raced there a couple of times already. The ARCA series ran, and some guy named Andy Jankowiak, which sounds like somebody I was in middle school with, won the race. I don't know. I think it's a bigger deal that Cletus McFarland finished second. Who the hell is Andy Jankowiak?
He's been in the series for a while,
Yeah.
right, Dan? And he's got ties to the Northeast.
Yeah, I mean, Andy J has been around for a while. That the whole family, his dad raced
Was
at
Tony.
It's Tony Jankowiak, who actually got killed at Stafford back like in 1990. So, I mean, it's a racing family, and he's one of those guys that's been there every week and just wants to be part of it. You know, I mean, maybe doesn't have the best equipment all the time, but always shows up. Kind of like, remember when Greg Van Alst won at Daytona a couple years ago? It's kind of one of those kind of stories. It's a really good story for him to win. I thought it was cool, a guy that did it.
Yeah.
It just kind of sucks for him that Cletus was going to win this race and finish second, and the crowd goes nuts, and they're going to boo the guy. It's like, don't boo the guy. This guy's put all kinds of effort into this.
Yeah.
He really has. He was 2 years old when his dad Tony died at Stafford.
Jeez.
Let's say what you want about Cletus, but he raced about as good as you could ask someone with that experience level to race there. I mean,
my God,
he
yes.
charged past Gio Ruggiero to take the lead, had the lead late, kind of made a wrong move, and he said it in his interview. He learned so much about drafting yesterday that he says he can take this and go forward with it. And I mean, you got to tip your hat. The guy is figuring it out, and there's a lot of haters out there that don't like what's going on there. But I personally think he's good for the sport, and a guy that's actually
I
going to
agree.
take it seriously and try to learn and want to do it the right way. You got to tip your cap to
And
that.
I'm glad he's not right in the main series. That they kind of let him do through ARCA and learning it. But you think about it, he's no different than what it used to be when your guy from Slinger would go down there and be in the big time suddenly, and he maybe didn't know exactly what he was doing. He had some experience, but you all you brought a following on, and you listened to him, and you followed him, and you cheered for him, and everything else. That was the way it used to always be. The
And
money
you
thing
crossed
is-
your fingers, Dan, that he didn't
Right.
kill himself.
right, and the money thing has wrecked that. I mean, we've had this money thing for so long that this feels so abnormal when this used to be the normal way to do it.
Question would be,
100%.
Is that enough experience for Cletus to get in that 33 car for Childress? Will NASCAR approve him now?
I don't think
No,
they
'cause
will
he still
after
didn't
one
do-
race.
Yeah, he still didn't do live pit stops. That's the big thing, is the live pit stop thing. So he's going to need to probably do that in a truck on multiple
Also-
occasions.
I mean, I think
Also-
back when Kenseth went down there and he first ran at, I think it was Talladega, the first year he had his first. I remember being on pins and needles just watching that race, like, oh my God, he's 3 wide, he's getting in the middle of the things, geez, just don't wreck, and he finished the race and it was a good deal. But I remember being that apprehensive, like, our guy's down there finally, and we're all on pins and needles watching it, It's kind of the same thing with Cletus, just that he got there with YouTube followers instead of racing through the short tracks, which is the difference. But now maybe if he gets more experience and comes up, we can have that kind of following again.
Yeah.
They would say things like, this guy drives a cement truck during the week, and here he is driving a race car at Talladega. Well, Andy J. Kowiak, this can't be his only job, can it, Brian?
No, he's not a full-time pizza delivery driver, but he was at one point. So that's why it's kind of the funny story behind it.
Pizza. Here we are. We're glad you're tuned in. The folks that are sitting in a unknown motorhome at Slinger Speedway's parking lot will be waiting, and when we come back, hang in there with us.
Ready for a weekend that's pure vintage vibes? Spring Vintage Weekend with SVRA hits. Road America May 15th through the 17th. Classic muscle, old school racers, and the coolest throwback machines you've ever seen, all ripping around the 4-mile track. Grab your crew, grab your picks, and get close enough to smell the horsepower. Spring Vintage Weekend, May 15th through the 17th. Come for the experience. Stay for the race. Get tickets at roadamerica.com.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Spring is in the air, and PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need, with fresh mulch arriving daily, from premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to Enviro mulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years, PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
Chimney Mechanics installs and services wood, natural gas, propane, pellet stoves, and chimneys. We service all of Wisconsin, the UP, and Northern Illinois. We repair all brands and all models of fireplaces, no matter where you bought it. We do custom chimney caps, liners, chimney fire repairs, water and stonework, water leak repairs, and replacement dampers. We do new construction and insurance work. No job is too big or too small. ChimneyMechanics.com. That's Chimney Mechanics with an X. Check us out on Facebook.
Welcome back to LTN, the podcast of the stars. With all the optimism that comes with the beginning of a race season, which is where we're at locally here at Slinger Speedway and whatnot, there's the reality that sometimes comes around and bites you. Natalie Klemko passed away this week. You may not know the name. It was Bill Balog's girlfriend. She was a sprint car driver, I believe, right, Brian?
Yes, she drove in the wingless, the Wisconsin Wingless Series. Sister to Chris Klemko, who races in the Wisconsin Wingless Series, and also I believe they operate the Wilmot Speedway down at the Kenosha County Fairgrounds.
She ran Billy Balog's souvenir trailer and was his girlfriend. Colon cancer at age 38. Oh my God. Just a terrible story. So our best to Bill and that whole team and her family. And what a terrible, terrible thing to hear as we're just trying to be positive about the start of the season. Reality comes around sometimes, doesn't it? It's just terrible. The NASCAR merry-go-round has hit levels that I don't really understand very much, and I'm hoping somebody can explain it to me. Big deal this week. Jim France, who is Bill France Jr.'s younger brother, was the CEO of NASCAR. Keep that in mind. That's one job, CEO. He's quit the job and he's moving to chairman of the board. That's another job. Okay. Steve O'Donnell, not to be confused with Steve Phelps. Steve O'Donnell is the new CEO, and Ben Kennedy, which is, of course, Bill France Jr.'s grandson, is the new COO. There's another job, okay? Now, they're saying this is a kind of a big deal because it's the first non-France in 78 years to run NASCAR. Now, wait a minute. Something, am I missing something here? What about Mike Helton? He was the president, that's another job title, for 16 years, and he moved from that job to vice chairman. There's another job, okay? Mike, listen to me. Steve Phelps was commissioner. What the hell is the difference from a CEO to a COO to a president to a vice chairman to a
Anybody can have any title. A lot of people give themselves glorious titles for their job. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who has the title. Even if Steve O'Donnell is going to be now the new NASCAR CEO, I guarantee you the France family is still pulling the strings. It's no different than politics in this country. Whoever is the figurehead at the top, there's still the other people pulling the strings behind the scene. And quite frankly, O'Donnell is probably just a placeholder anyway until Ben Kennedy can get into that position.
Absolutely, positively. And that was actually going to be a point that I was going to bring up. Kennedy is a little young to, I think, and needs some more seasoning, watching the business and all that sort of thing. But when they say
like Cletus,
like Cletus, when they say the first non-France in 78 years, blah blah. Yeah, well, what about Mike Helton? I don't know.
Helton still took his cues from the France family.
Well, and that's why Steve O'Donnell, is he going to answer to the chairman of the board?
He's going to answer to France. Yeah. He won't do anything without Jim France's stamp of approval. I guarantee it.
Man, it's almost like it would be nice to have someone from that bunch come on and explain the difference in all the different job titles and responsibilities that go along with it. I think that would enlighten so much of us that so many of us that it would make it all.
I think it's kind of a way to have somebody that's more in touch with the teams on a day-to-day basis to run the show. I mean, you saw in the lawsuit with how kind of out of touch Jim France was with everybody else is going, and I think this is kind of a way where O'Donnell kind of was more on the side. Remember, some of those text messages were actually him kind of advocating for what the teams were looking for, or he's kind of giving them some kind of a say. So I think it's kind of a way to say, okay, teams, you're going to deal with O'Donnell. He's going to be your day-to-day guy. That's who you're going to deal with. France is still around, and he's maybe the chairman of the board, or they call him now. But if you want things to get done and we want to move the sport forward, we're going to deal with O'Donnell.
It's actually a good move on their part for the optics of it, and it's a great transitional bridge then for whenever Ben Kennedy comes in. And hopefully Ben will take some notes from Steve O'Donnell.
Just a matter of time right there. But one person who got a job in the NASCAR conglomerate, the title is the 2027 Scheduled Development Person. I don't know what the hell they would call that.
I don't know.
Julie Giese. You may remember the name. She's from Wisconsin, Colby, Wisconsin. She was the president of the Phoenix racetrack until they moved her up. They moved her to the Chicago Road Course president. And that is, as of course, you know, there is no such thing anymore as the Chicago Road Course. So she has come up with this new title, and she's going to head up the the schedule development for next year. I don't know what that means.
Probably like a development director. They probably put the word director after it.
That's interesting that they did that, though, because less than a year ago, everybody was told, oh, there'll be another street race at Chicago. We're just taking a year absence. And now, that was Julie's job. And they said that job was going to be secure because we're going to go back there again. Oh, now we're giving her a different title. Does that mean we don't plan on going back to the streets of Chicago?
Will they
Just
stay
thinking.
at the Chicago track? You know, why did they abandon it before? Lack of
Nobody went there. That was the problem. And we'll see.
Welcome to the sport.
Right.
I mean, nobody showed up at Bristol, Brian.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just, in the scheme of things, though, you know.
But now that it's been gone for a couple of years, they showed up for a test this last week.
They did.
People were in the stands. So.
Yes. Tuesday was open to the public, and there was, that would have been a good crowd at a short track for people to watch. Single cars would not. The cars were plain, too. It's not like you could see the Hendrick Cars.com number 5 of Kyle Larson. It was just a black car with a 5 on it, and there were still a fair amount of people that showed up. I was impressed with the video I saw.
That was pretty cool to see.
But it's just interesting that Julie got a different title when everybody was kind of assured last year that, we're going to come back in 27. Maybe not.
They had a Cup car and a Norp car on the track at the same time, which I thought was, you don't want to do that because the Norp cars put on such a better race. By the way, they did talk about, are we gonna figure out if San Diego is going to be more than a one-night stand? Because right now, we've got this. I mean, it's coming and it looks interesting, but it is just another road course, and it's going to be in San Diego, which is a market they've never tapped before. And we're going to find out if this is a big deal, because are the Mexicans going to come up to watch their favorite driver Suarez? That could be a thing. There could be a sizable crowd there for that. But this is all what Julie is going to have to worry about with her developmental schedule for next year. Seems like a good time for a break. We'll be right back.
The racing season roars to life at MIS Sunday afternoon, May 3rd, with the Joe Shear Classic 200, presented by Toyota. See the stars and cars of the ASA Midwest Tour, plus Midwest trucks, champions and challengers for 200 action-packed laps. Advanced discount tickets at MISRacing.com. ASA Midwest Tour, Midwest Trucks, UW Marching Band, the Joe Shear Classic 200, presented by Toyota. It's the biggest race of the year. Sunday afternoon, May 3rd at 2 p.m. Madison International Speedway. Don't miss it.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship-winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at wagnerautomotive.com.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer, no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer, just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
Ready for a weekend that's pure vintage vibes? Spring Vintage Weekend with SVRA hits. Road America May 15th through the 17th. Classic muscle, old school racers, and the coolest throwback machines you've ever seen, all ripping around the 4-mile track. Grab your crew, grab your picks, and get close enough to smell the horsepower. Spring Vintage Weekend, May 15th through the 17th. Come for the experience. Stay for the race. Get tickets at roadamerica.com.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Welcome back to the program. If at any time you wish to weigh in on any of the subjects we talk about on this program, you can do so at 414-421-7901, unless you are listening to the podcast, and then you're basically shit out of luck. You should have been here on Sunday morning at 10 o'clock Milwaukee time. Okay. And Paul from Racine is calling us not on the Hangover Show. Hello, Paul.
Surprise!
Yeah.
Hey, Todd.
Go ahead.
Couple things. Number one, did you all, any of you, see the interview that Kyle Busch had with Sean Hannity?
I saw some parts of it.
Yeah, parts.
I listened to it. I thought his hate list was interesting. Not surprising, but interesting that he added Carson Hocevar to it, and then added that Denny Hamlin is quickly becoming that next guy. Does he race? Who do you think he races next year?
Kyle, sure.
Busch? Sure.
Yeah, I think he does too.
Whether it's at the 8 car or not, we'll see. I mean, I may be contractually binded there, but I think it may be time
If he
for
wants out, he
move.
can have it,
Yeah.
probably. Yeah.
I just thought it was interesting that he, in the interview, he made it sound like, he'd like to keep racing, but he's not sure. I mean, I can't believe overnight he's lost talent. I mean, he's that good. They said he's won like 200 plus races across all 3 divisions. I knew it was a lot. I didn't realize it was that much.
And it might just be a move on his part too, to just kind of not burn any bridges, stay in good contact, because he wants to allow his son Brexton to have the path to success as well too. And I think anybody who's been around Kyle Busch knows that when he starts to get really frustrated, you better be careful, because he's going to end up boiling over, and he'll end up stepping on somebody's toes that are connected to the ass he should be kissing.
Very, very well said. It's worth a listen just for those who are in the audience. The second thing I wanted to talk about was, we're talking about the Chicago street race before the break. I wonder if part of what's going on there, obviously you have a socialist mayor, but I'd like to know the economics of like what the NASCAR teams can do and what they have to hire out to set up in the city of Chicago. As somebody who has attended conventions at McCormick Place, I know, and talking to the different manufacturers that I represent, it's very expensive because people, the manufacturers can't do anything. It's all the union labor who has to go down there and set everything up. And I wonder if that's part of the economics playing into it.
Oh, that absolutely was. That was a big part about the whole thing down there is the restrictions and how they had to, who they had to use to do things and how they had to do it. And that's why, as the course of the 3 years went, everything got downsized because the cost of it was so expensive. I mean, just simply the fire department, for instance, they had to use the Chicago Fire Department. And Dan and I saw it every time we walked up there. There had to be 15 to 20 Chicago firefighters just hanging around, we talked to a couple of the Chicago police officers. They had to be the ones that did the security for the entire event. You couldn't use any outside sources for it. And those guys loved it. They got to be out of the dangerous neighborhoods. So the price was through the roof for it. And that's exactly a big problem they had there.
Thanks for the call.
Let's chat a little bit too about some of this progressive stuff, like the electric Xfinity car. Do we think that's going to happen?
I hope not.
Come on.
Well, I saw that piece earlier in the week, and I thought maybe it was just satire on some marginal source.
I did too.
It showed up, and yesterday morning I was listening to the front stretch with Pat Patterson on Sirius XM, and he was talking with Jason Ratcliffe, and it came up. And to my surprise, because usually everything you hear on that channel is kind of cuts the the corporate line. Yeah, we should think about it. Oh no, those guys did not think anything of that. In fact, Jason Ratcliffe was very much against it. He says, I don't even know if an electric car is a sustainable thing for use, for public transportation, or any kind of transportation going forward, let alone trying to race it, And then he says, and then to take probably arguably the best platform we have of our 3 series and then try to turn it into something that isn't as good. He just thought it was just, crazy. And not to mention, you're taking everything out of it, what the crews can work on cars.
Okay, so what happens when those things run low on power? It takes a while to charge them up, right?
Yeah, there is a series, the Formula E, which is like the Formula 1 cars, and they just swap cars midway through the race.
Yeah, you bring 2 cars, jump out of one car, get in the other one.
What the hell is that about?
Stage 2 will now be a car swap car.
We saw him on the track. Was that last year, Dan, in Chicago, where they had him out there, or 2 years ago? I can't remember.
That's like a Chinese fire drill.
Yeah.
No kidding.
We saw him out on the course last year at Chicago, and you didn't really even know when they were going by because you couldn't hear them. I don't know. I don't think it's a good idea. If you wanted to do something completely separate, add another series to try these things and see what kind of reaction you get. But to take what is, like I said, your best series out there right now and to try to turn it into something else, Hopefully they flush that idea.
Maybe you take the Cup cars and you make those the Xfinity car, or the same cars as they're running in the Norp series, and then that would be a way of getting rid of this car that has been such a favorite of, say, for instance, Kyle Busch. No, he didn't wake up one day and suddenly not remember how to drive a car. He woke up one day and they changed cars and they gave him this thing that he doesn't have any idea how to make go. That's what the real problem is. So, maybe they would take those cars and make. There's nothing unsafe about a Norp car, is there, Brian?
No, not at all. It uses some of the older technology, and that's what Jason Radcliffe was talking about. They don't have the electronic fuel injection in those cars. Those cars are still carbureted. They still use the track bar.
They don't brake as much.
Right.
Brake.
It's just an older school. It's an older school car, and that's the older school stuff. Still races better a lot of times.
Yeah, it's about the fans. What the hell do we care about? What kind of technologies on the if these Norp cars are supposed to be that much, if the racing is that much better, then why aren't we bringing that to the fans instead of these dumbass cars? That doesn't make sense. That's just me. Oh yeah, seems a good time for a break. It's unreal, actually. We'll be right back.
The Plymouth dirt track drivers are a friendly bunch. They're just kind of hard to get to know flying by on the dirt. Let's go racing!
Plymouth Dirt Track Racing. This Saturday night, it's the Grand Nationals B-Mods and Super 6 late models, plus the 360 sprints with driver introductions. Gates open at 4, dirt flies at 4:30. Tickets $15 for adults, seniors $13, students $7, and kids 11 and under free with paying adults. Details at PlymouthGTR.com. The Saturday night tradition, Plymouth Dirt Track Racing.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer, no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer, just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
Spring is in the air, and PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need, with fresh mulch arriving daily, from premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to Enviro mulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
Chimney Mechanics installs and services wood, natural gas, propane, pellet stoves, and chimneys. We service all of Wisconsin, the UP, and Northern Illinois. We repair all brands and all models of fireplaces, no matter where you bought it. We do custom chimney caps, liners, chimney fire repairs, water and stonework, water leak repairs, and replacement dampers. We do new construction and insurance work. No job is too big or too small. ChimneyMechanics.com. That's Chimney Mechanics with an X. Check us out on Facebook.
TV ratings from last week. There's good news across the board, really. The Cup race, which was on Fox, the year before it was on FS1, so it's really not a fair comparison. But it was up 26% over last year. The number was 2.9 million approximately. Indy cars, we've got some good news and we've got some bad news. The good news was that their numbers were up 130% over whatever they did last year. It's probably because they followed NASCAR as a nice lead-in for it, and because it was on Fox, but like that's their main deal. They own it now. The bad news is it was about 40% of what NASCAR drew, 1.2 versus 2.9. Oh my God. I can't believe there's Brian, you're the defender. Is their product that much inferior?
No, it's just normal. I mean, it's not that we're talking 30 years ago was the last time IndyCar was more popular than NASCAR. So, I mean, this is not out of the ordinary, I guess. Street racing isn't quite as exciting as on TV as some of the other, forums out there. So I wouldn't be too alarmed by it. I'm happy that it's higher than it was before. But, if you got to have comparable numbers too, and that's for IndyCar, their slice of the pie. That's pretty good.
I guess. We will go to the telephones. Boy, there's a name I haven't seen in a while since we went to the podcast. Greg in faraway Milwaukee. You must have got new Wi-Fi or something. I can't imagine. It's good to hear your voice, Greg.
No, I was in the hospital for a while, so I caught your shows pretty much in the hospital. But my question for you is, last week at Kansas, several cars got below the yellow line, especially in the turns, and that was all allowed. Why do they not have the cars stay on the track rather than cut a shortcut through being down below the line?
Okay.
Only on the super speedways do they not allow them to go before it, below the line. So
why in the hell do they have the yellow line there then, Brian?
Just to mark a transition from the banking to the flat.
Oh.
So they have a visual to see where that is. I mean, at Phoenix, that's the biggest draw to Phoenix is the start of the race or a restart when they go and fan out in that real wide open area there.
Yeah. So
you just don't do it on a super speedway because you're going so fast it can upset the car, and that's how you get the big chain reaction wrecks. That's the only reason they don't allow them to do it when you're draft racing today.
You remember that came about in Daytona with Rusty Wallace. That was going to be his Daytona 500 win, and Jeff Gordon went down there, and he came up on Ricky Rudd's slower car, and Rusty did the smart thing and let Jeff in instead of destroying everything. And I think that cost him his only Daytona 500 win. But that's when that rule came about.
Yeah, it's a safety issue. Greg, good to hear your voice again, and I'm glad you're still with us in all directions. There is a person of interest that law enforcement in North Carolina now has in that break-in at Greg Biffle's home. If you'll remember, after Biffle died in the wreck, in the plane crash, somebody broke into his house. They knew, if I'm remembering this right, Dan, they knew where the money was in the house, right?
It seemed like it. I mean, because it was...
They went right to it.
Right.
They went right to it. Yeah, so, I'm not a detective and I don't play one on radio, but I can tell you, it seems like anybody that knew where the money was should be at the top of the damn list. Oh, well, they're looking. They have two specific addresses too, Dan, I guess, right?
Right, yeah, they executed search warrants at a residence and a business, one in Denver, North Carolina, and then at a business in Mooresville. So I guess if you can try to figure out who those addresses live to, you may have an idea who the persons of interest were, or at least a path to that. There were some names that were out there online that people had put out, but when you kind of Google search them, they weren't to that address, so you can't say for sure. But if somebody was out there and want to do the internet sleuth thing, you could probably take those two addresses. They're in the article where they...
Well, let's do that here. I'll just pull up Zillow.
You work on that, and I'm going to say... his ex-wife, that was pretty ugly between having cameras in the shower and everything else that was going on there. I'm still thinking.
It might be a couple other people, though, too, that are of interest there.
Yeah. Well, we're about to find out for sure. Hey, there is a video that they've been working on that I don't know that I remembered having them talk about, but Prime Video is going to have Kyle Larson versus the Double. It's coming out on Prime on May 21st, right in time for Indianapolis, and it should be pretty good. They're going to document his trying both at Indianapolis and Charlotte. And
well, this was from a couple years ago, wasn't it, or last year?
Yeah.
Actually, both times he tried it, it became an issue with weather, and it was hard to make it really give a definite good effort, because
it should be real compelling video then, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it might be if they get into the deal about, do I get a waiver if I don't make the race? I mean, that was some pretty intense things there.
Yeah.
If you think about that.
Yeah.
I wish they had those races enough far apart that you could somehow do the double. Like, it was fun going there. I saw Tony Stewart do it. I saw John Andretti do it, and Robbie Gordon do it. Larson, I thought, had the opportunity to maybe win both of them. That would be to me, that's still the greatest feat I think I would ever see in motorsports, if you could win both those races
Right?
on the same day.
Yeah.
If anybody could do it, it would be Larson.
Yep. It was sure. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back with some results for you right after these.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
The Plymouth Dirt Track drivers are a friendly bunch. They're just kind of hard to get to know flying by on the dirt. Let's go racing!
Plymouth Dirt Track Racing. This Saturday night, it's the Grand Nationals B-Mods and Super 6 late models, plus the 360 sprints with driver introductions. Gates open at 4, dirt flies at 4:30. Tickets $15 for adults, seniors $13, students $7, and kids 11 and under free with paying adults. Details at PlymouthGTR.com. The Saturday night tradition, Plymouth Dirt Track Racing.
Spring is in the air, and PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need, with fresh mulch arriving daily, from premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to Enviro mulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
Racing returns to the Slinger Super Speedway Sunday afternoon, April 26th. The ASA Midwest Tour 100 invades the world's fastest quarter-mile oval for the Jerry Bear Priestchen Memorial. See a 100-lap main event, plus a 75-lap Uptown late model feature, and the debut of the new Crown Vic. Gates open at 1. Racing starts at 3 p.m. Don't miss it. Sunday afternoon, April 26th at the Slinger Super Speedway.
And now the LTN Hour presents Dirt on the Dirt with Brian Schmidt.
Busy week of dirt track racing across the state of Wisconsin, actually, as most of the tracks opened up this week. We'll get started out of the state, though, on Tuesday night in Eagle, Nebraska, the High Limit Sprint Car Series Spring Jackpot. You may have seen that on FS1 Tuesday night if you're at home. For the High Limit Sprint Car Series, Corey Day, talk about having a good week. He picked up the win there, and I think he's only had a handful of races this season in his sprint car, but he made the most of it, picking up the win there on Tuesday night. Friday night, Chilton, Wisconsin, Gravity Park opened up their season. In the modifieds, Joey Siegert was your winner. Grand Nationals was Nate Rue, and stock cars was Marcus Hopner. Luxembourg opened up. In the IMCA modifieds, Cole Sarneski, and the IMCA stock cars went to Brett Wenzel. Fountain City, Wisconsin's Mississippi Thunder Speedway opened up on Friday night. In the USRA modifieds, Keith Foss grabbed the win. They have their big event this coming weekend for the World of Outlaw late models, as they run Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So if you're in the western part of the state, make the trip out and check out the big event out there. Kankakee opened up Friday night in Illinois. The UMP late models went to Mike Spatola, and the modifieds with Stephen Brooks. Brownstown, Illinois, the Mars Dirt Cars Series for the super late models, $5,000 to win. Ryan Gustin picked up the win. Georgetown, Delaware, Friday night for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, $21,049 to win. Devin Moran picked up the win. And Knoxville, Iowa opened up their season for with the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars. Brad Sweet, one of the high rollers from the High Limit Series Invader, came in and picked up the win there. Last night, Plymouth opened up their season with the MSA 360 Sprints, went to Kevin Karnitz, the Grand Nationals Tyler Kulo, and the Legends Eric Bloomer. Francis Crick, 141 Speedway opened up. IMCA Modifieds went to Johnny Whitman. Stock cars, Cole Cerneski. Grand Nationals was Jeff Richards. Up at Shawano, their season opener, the Dirt Kings late models were the headliners. Turk Letizia picked up the win there. The Modifieds went to Lucas Lambries, and the stock cars was Travis Spalding. Out at New Richmond, Wisconsin Cedar Lake Speedway. In the late models, Pat Dorr was your winner. The USRA Limited Lates went to Cooper Sunby, and the Modifieds was Cole Boston. Down in Peoria, Illinois, the Mars Dirt Car Series late models, $5,095 to win. Ryan Unsucker was your winner, and the Modifieds was Michael Ledford. Kokomo, Indiana, the USAC NOS Energy Drinks National Midgets opened up their season with Justin Grant picking up the win. 410 non-wing sprints were the undercard. Robert Ballou picked up the win there. And finally, Knoxville, Iowa, the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars last night. Their second night of the Premier Chevy Dealers Clash at Knoxville. David Gravel picked up the win in that one. The 2 nights at Knoxville, they had 65 and 63 410 sprint cars, respectively, each night. Talk about a stout field they had out there. That was pretty impressive. And that is everything for this weekend.
All right, on to the dirts, or the the asphalt side of things. Friday night, the Smart Modified Tour was at Wake County Speedway. Danny Bone picking up his 3rd win in 6 races this season. Ryan Newman was 3rd. ARCA, Talladega yesterday. We talked about that quite a bit. Andy Jankowiak was the winner. Cletus McFarland, a.k.a. Garrett Mitchell, was 2nd. The ZMAX Cars Tour was at Caraway Speedway. It's postponed until today due to rain that moved in. Landon Lewis was your pro late model fast qualifier. Caden Quapp will roll off 11th. Caden Honeycutt will start 12th. They got 34 cars for that one. Late model stock cars fast qualifier was Trayton Lapsevich, and Caden Honeycutt doing double duty. He's going to start 2nd in that one later today. Five Flags Speedway had their first of their pro late model series. The winner was Jake Finch. Weston Marthaler out of Minnesota was down there. He ended up finishing 11th. And then, of course, today we have the Jerry Priesgen, thank you, Memorial at Slinger Speedway here, where Dan and I are at. Yesterday in practice, Luke Fenhouse, fresh off that Alive for 5 win at Dells Raceway Park, topped the speed charts for the Super Lates with an 11.127. Ty Majeski was 2/1000ths of a second behind him. I suspect we're going to see these two battling hard as a factor before the day is over today.
Yeah, I think those are the cars to watch. There's a lot of good cars here for this race, and how fast they're going. I mean, 11-1s in practice is pretty good. That's a little cooler today.
Yeah. Well, and it's cooler temps. I think that's going to help generate a little more horsepower as well, and just helps everything work a little better on this high bank track.
Unbelievable. By the way, that ASA that was supposed to at Dominion Speedway. Is that in Virginia? I think it is, isn't it?
It's Dominion Speedway.
I'm not sure. Anyway.
Dominion is in Virginia.
They canceled
it. They canceled it. There was a lot of threat of rain. Am I cutting out or are you?
Probably.
Okay.
Me.
So anyway, yeah, there was a lot of threat of rain for that event at Dominion Raceway. A lot of drivers and teams were saying, yeah, we're not going to haul all the way up there and then have to deal with a rain out. So he had a lot of people pulling out, and they were really at a very low car count. So it was a smart business decision for all parties to just pull the pin on it and call it a day for that one.
And that's not super late model country either. So it's not like you have locals that can just fill in. I believe late model stocks are like the main type of class that they run out there weekly.
Right.
So those cars don't coincide with the Stars cars.
Exactly, Brian. And that was a big issue.
Am I still breaking up?
We can hear you.
Okay. That Cars Tour race that you talked about, I forget where it was supposed to be.
Caraway Speedway today.
Okay.
And you're breaking up again.
101 o'clock, and their 125 lap late model stock car race is at 2 o'clock, and that's on Flow, just like Slinger will be, starting at 3 o'clock.
But Slinger is also on Track TV, because the Stars Tour, the ASA Midwest Tour, has a deal with Track TV. It just happens to be simulcast because Slinger has a deal with Flow. But Track TV is the mast, the big kahuna.
Qualifying is at 1:30. Racing starts at 3 o'clock. The 75 lap late model feature pays $2,500 to win, and the ASA 100 lap races pays $5,000 to win today. So a good way to start the season out at Slinger Speedway for sure. This seems like a good place to take our final break. We're going to come back in just a couple of minutes. Hang in there with us.
Racing returns to the Slinger Super Speedway Sunday afternoon, April
26th, the ASA Midwest Tour 100 invades the world's fastest quarter-mile oval for the Jerry Bear Priestchen Memorial. See a 100-lap main event, plus a 75-lap Uptown late model feature, and the debut of the new Crown Vic. Gates open at 1. Racing starts at 3 p.m. Don't miss it. Sunday afternoon, April 26th at the Slinger Super Speedway.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer, no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer, just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship-winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at wagnerautomotive.com.
The racing season roars to life at MIS Sunday afternoon, May 3rd with the Joe Shear Classic 200 presented by Toyota. See the stars and cars of the ASA Midwest Tour plus Midwest trucks, champions and challengers for 200 action-packed laps. Advanced discount tickets at MISRacing.com. ASA Midwest Tour, Midwest Trucks, UW Marching Band. The Joe Shear Classic 200 presented by Toyota. It's the biggest race of the year. Sunday afternoon, May 3rd at 2 p.m. Madison International Speedway. Don't miss it.
Welcome back. So, okay, yeah, I had a couple of dollars last week on Tyler Reddick. So I actually won some money with my pick last week. That doesn't happen around here very often. We make picks, but we don't always back them up with cash. So, keeping that in mind, I'm going to start with Dan Margetta today to make his pick at Talladega, keeping in mind it's a total crapshoot at this track. Even Bubba Wallace could win. Even one of the cars over at Childress could win. We'll see if Dan agrees.
Yeah, anybody can win this race. I get that. I'm just going to go with Blaney's probably a favorite, but I'm going to go with Joey Logano. I'll take the 22.
That's who they're saying for one reason or another. Okay. Brian?
Whew, this is a tough one, too, because you really have no clue. It's a wide-open crapshoot. So I'm going to take Brad Keselowski in the 6.
Oh, would that be something to come around again? PJ?
Well, in case you're curious, I am going to go with Ryan.
Uh-oh. PJ's mic isn't
on.
working.
Oh, it's on. Mike, I'm going to go with Ryan Blaney. Who did you think?
Oh, that's a surprise. I'm going with Michael McDowell to win for Spire. Because if he's not going to win here, where is he going to win?
Michael McDowell in the Gunk Chevrolet. That'll
Gunk.
be interesting. Gunk.
That's pretty good. Gunk. There you go. Slinger, boy, it seems like it's the Ty and Luke show to me. Is that just my imagination?
I'm taking Ty.
Well, that's not a surprise right there.
Well, I'm sleeping with the crew chief, so there is that.
You have some inside information, so to speak. That's pretty good. All right.
Literally inside, yes.
Yeah, there you go. It seems like it's pretty wide open. Now there's a lot of guys that are good at Slinger Speedway. Those two seem to be at the top of the list. However, don't count out the regulars that race at Slinger every week. And that 11 car could just sneak one out here. And if we're gonna do that, I'm gonna go with Alex Prunty myself. So there you go.
Or the 9 car that has passed probably more cars than anybody at the Nationals the last couple of years, but he just can't get qualified. Derek can qualify well today. I think he could be a factor. Did not have a transponder on yesterday, so we didn't know how good his times were, but they seemed fairly happy with the car.
Yeah, they got a lot of good cars here. Casey Johnson's here in the Chase Motorsports car. He said Alex Prunty, Dennis Prunty's here. I mean, there's Gabe Summers is here. He's won here before. Justin Mondike's here. He's won before. I mean, there's cars that have won before.
It's going to be a damn good race. So, yeah, you should definitely head on out. And if you can't make it, you can watch it on Track TV.
Or Flow.
But Track TV is the masthead here.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I don't have that, and I do have Flow, so guess what?
And we like their advertising dollars too, Todd.
Oh. Yeah, of course. Track TV. I forgot. Christ. You know, age is a hell of a thing to have to deal with. As far as Talladega goes, it's the same story there. There's a lot of cars that can win. There's probably a lot more cars that could win at Talladega that can win at Slinger Speedway. That you could go down the list and pick out almost any one of them because there's surprise winners once in a while. That's what I was gonna go put money on Kyle Busch. I really was, because if there's anywhere he's gonna win in a Childress car, it's gonna be at Talladega. And I just didn't there's something missing. I don't know what it is.
Well, look at Daytona. Look at the Daytona 500 coming to the white flag. He backed out. He pulled out of that pack and it just said, I'm out of here. And they even said, what's going on? And he's like, I don't need to be driving into the wreck. And of course, they all wrecked. He finished, 15th or 10th or something like that. But he wasn't going for the win. So I don't know.
Kind of weird.
Anywhere, but also seems to me, if anywhere, Keselowski's been running good all over the place, Brian, and your pick is not at all unusual. I think it just we really tried to get Ty Majeski to come over.
The drivers meeting just ended. They had to get through tech. I've been texting, and he and Toby both apologized. So sorry.
Yeah, good thing. Well, we didn't say anything in advance on it.
Well, we did now, so there's that.
Yeah, well, it's okay. Now, maybe you could have him come over, like Matt said, and have him stop in at the Hangover Show.
Unfortunately, I'm shutting things down after this.
Yeah, me too.
Practice starts at 11 o'clock.
I want to. Yeah, it's going to start to get pretty hot and heavy here. Not
Next
in the
week
camper.
Texas. Brian, Texas. That's one of those cookie cutter tracks. So who's going to win next week? Yeah, it's already the Kyle Larson show, right?
Yeah, it's a track we used to hate, but now with this new car, it's actually a much better race, and they actually put on a good show there. So I would expect decent racing there again, even though last week wasn't until we got the final caution. I would expect Texas to hopefully be a little better.
And we thought Kyle Larson was going to win last week, too. I mean, if any place that he's going to get his head out of his posterior, that would be it. And it didn't happen last week, too. And it was, interestingly, and he led the two segments, too, didn't he?
Yeah, and he led with the white flag, too.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
I think he needs to start racing more. I think that's what I'd have to say. He needs to start racing more. He didn't race midweek with the high limits like we thought he was maybe going to do, and he hasn't raced hardly at all. I think he needs to get back to his old schedule again. Maybe his wife and kids don't allow it, but he seemed to perform a lot better when he raced more, and he seems to be racing less, and he's winning a lot less.
And I think, Brian, you're onto something there, because I think every racer that stays actively involved all the time in different series and different types of race cars tends to perform better all across the board. I mean, even like Caden Honeycutt. He's been running the late model stock cars, the prolates, and obviously the
Modifieds of Mayhem. He's been winning a bunch of
Modifieds there. So, yeah, this is a guy who's been super busy, and I think it's paying off for him.
They changed the segments around, by the way. It's lap 95 and 145. They're hoping they don't have to go at half throttle all the way through to try and get this thing done. So, hey, we're really happy you tuned into the program today. And for all of us, we want you to remember that real race cars have doors, even if they do climb in through the windows. Let's Talk NASCAR is produced and directed by Dangerous Dan Margetta. Our engineer is Matt Losey. For everybody involved, we appreciate you being here. I don't think there's going to be a hangover show this week. See you next week, everybody.
This program has come to you live from multiple locations. Any and all comments expressed on this show do not necessarily express the opinions of this station, its employees, or advertisers. Your comments are always welcome at mail@ltnradionetwork.com. Find us at facebook.com/LTN Radio Network. And thank you for your support since 1985. Tune in again next Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time for the LTN Hour on the LTN Radio Network.